Hello, hello, hello. Have you had your dinner? This evening we will talk about food. Food, glorious food. Now, we are all guilty of indulging. After all, who doesn't love some good old grub? From Ringgit 460 burger to our neighborhood Ramly burger. There are so many amazing dishes and food for us to indulge in nowadays. Have you heard about the Ringgit 460 burger? Show me some love if you have. But on the same note, it's time to get serious about food wastage. More so when we are bringing out our wok as we are stuck at home once again. You know the tallest twin towers in the world is Malaysia's Petronas Twin Tower, standing majestically at 451.9 meters tall. Now try to imagine 16 of these twin towers being filled to the brim with food waste. This could well be a reality if we don't do something about the problem of food waste. According to the Solid Waste Management and Public Cleaning Corporation, SWCOR, by 2020, the total amount of food waste can certainly fill up 16 of these twin towers. Here's another fact. Malaysians waste about 16,688 tons of food per day, an amount that can easily feed around 2.2 million people 3 times a day. Food waste isn't just about trash that we produce or accumulate during or after our meals. There are many more things that can be considered food waste, namely leftovers or rejected food items. Rejected food products from farmers or suppliers are the biggest contributors to the food waste found in landfills. Most supermarkets will reject misshapen products or ugly products. That in turn will leave the farmers with no other option but to throw them away. Research states that 49% of the waste in landfills is made up of organic food waste. Whilst we are deeply concerned about the problem of plastic slowly filling up the earth, we should similarly be concerned about the food trash filling up these landfills too. Globally, there has been much attention on avoiding or reducing food waste and food loss. But recent research has shown that young adults between 18 to 24 years old have a higher tendency to waste compared to other age groups. Now, do we have any 18 to 24-year-olds watching this Facebook Live? If no, please share this Facebook with them. Did you know that there is a World Food Day? And it is celebrated on October 16th every year. World Food Day is not about celebrating amazing food that we have the privilege to eat or to indulge in decadent delicacies, but it is about raising awareness of food wastage and people who are suffering from hunger, and also choosing nutritious and healthy diets. Now, let's tackle the first issue, food wastage. How do we minimize that? Are you ready to tackle this issue with me? I hope so. Let's poll this question. Are you ready to reduce food wastage? Yes? No? Maybe? Now, let's see how we can do that. Number 1, plan your meals ahead. That will help you plan what you need to buy when you are doing your grocery shopping, and not buy more onions or garlic or tomatoes or chili that you already have at home. How many of you are guilty of that? Buy when you are not sure if you have it or not at home. You know, I like Michael Lim. when he planned his meals during the MCO period. And you might have caught us on Facebook Live when we talked about gender equality in doing household chores. And he shared that he and Elvina had 2 meals a day, and the meals were set A, set B, and set C. I can see that there is very little food wastages in their home. So kudos to you, Michael and Elvina. A few years ago, when my daughter returned from Switzerland after completing her degree in hotel management, she brought along a uni-mate of hers, a Kuching girl who got a job as a management trainee in Shangri-La Hotel. Now, you know, management trainees, well, they are not that well paid. They are paid very little, actually. So this girl, her name is Janet Un, and she came to live with us, and in return for room and board, I asked that she cooked for me once a month. Now, Janet, in order to save money, she would just raid my fridge and pantry and use up whatever items she finds to cook. And she cooks fabulously delicious dinner for me from whatever she finds in my pantry and in my fridge. One of my absolute favorite was a dessert she made from pears and an unfinished bottle of wine. Poached pears with red wine. And now, whenever I have leftover red wine, I think of Janet's poached pears. So Janet, I hope you're watching this Facebook Live all the way in China. Now she's working in a Michelin star restaurant in China. Now, even in our very best planning, we may still have a little bit of this and a little bit of that left over. So, well, be creative and throw them together and get one meal out of these leftover ingredients here and there. Third, when you dine out and the portion is just too big for you to finish in one sitting, you tap out the extras. This is a habit I see Siman do every lunchtime. You know, she's a very small eater. She eats like a bird. So she always brings along her container with her, and she puts a portion that she can't eat into the container before she digs into her lunch. And that is such a good habit. Besides helping her stay slim, she's already planned the portion she wants to take for that sitting. Now, if we have one big plate of rice, tendency is we stuff our face with as much as we can before we pack the leftovers. Many times, what really happens is that we force feed ourselves to try to finish the plate that's in front of us, but find that after a while, we really can't swallow even one spoonful more. And the amount left on the plate is not worth packing or too messy to pack. And we leave it on the plate as unfinished portion, food wastage. Imagine this, one small portion from you, one small portion from me, one small portion from them, and that amounts to a mountain of food wastage. Number 4, storing your food. How you store your food can also help you minimize food wastage. So storing your food, cooked or uncooked, in the proper manner keeps them fresher longer. For example, leafy vegetables. You need to keep them dry, so try wrapping them up with our kitchen cloth or towel when you put them in the fridge. This helps minimize dampness, which may seep out from the other food items in the fridge. Another alternative is also to use our napkins, and let me demonstrate to you how I would actually keep my vegetables in the fridge. I've got on one side my spring onion, and the other side I will roll my carrots. And there you have it, nicely rolled up vegetables to keep in the fridge. Some of you may prefer, and if you have napkins, you can also use our Norwex napkins as napkins, or also to roll up your leafy vegetables. So this is what I do. And I've got a nicely wrapped vegetables to go in the fridge. Now you can also pre-wash your fruits and veggies with our Norwex Produce Wash so that dirt and pesticides are removed before you store them. Just make sure you dry them before storage. Again, another idea of how to dry them. Anyone? Any guesses? What would you use to dry your freshly washed vegetables and fruits? Yes, of course. Our fruit and veggie scrub cloth is a great cloth to dry your wet fruits and vegetables before you put them in the fridge. Use the smooth side to dry. Or if time is on your side, you can leave them on the dish mat to air dry before storing them in the fridge. There you go. Simple 4 ideas on how to stop wasting food. Plan ahead when you do your grocery list for shopping. Once a month, rate all the leftover uncooked items that you can whip them together into a meal. And if you have already been doing that, why don't you share a recipe in the comment section? I might just jump on it and try it during this CMCO period. Pack the extras before you start the meal instead of packing leftovers. Practice good storing habits for your food. So, World Food Day also promotes eating nutritious and healthy diet. Most of us like to snack, be it when we are busy at work, watching TV, during meetings, or even when we are doing nothing. We just love to snack. Let's admit it, people, we are snackers. Not slackers, but snackers. I bet some of you are snacking right now. Hands up, those of you who are, or type #snackers in the comment section. Now, we snack as a habit, not because we are hungry. And I think it's perfectly okay to snack. Let's enjoy a bit. I just make sure I snack on healthy food like nuts, raisins, or fruits. So I keep my healthy snacks readily available in glass jars where I can see them. You know, when you get hungry, or rather when your eyes get hungry, you are most likely to eat the first thing you see on the counter, in your pantry, or in your fridge. So let me give you a Norwex hacks. Cut up fruits and store it in the fridge for easy access. It is more likely that you or your kids or your spouse will eat the cut fruits when they see that it is already washed and cut. Now remember to wash your fruits with either our fresh produce wash or the fruit and veggie cloth before you cut and store them. Now, even in healthy diets, there are some things to avoid. So, a healthy diet also includes not only what you should eat, but certain types of food to avoid. There are 2 types of food that I avoid as much as I can. I have cut out white bread from my diet. I love breads, but I confine myself to artisan breads, sourdough breads, multi-grain breads, which I eat with just olive oil and a squeeze of lemon, or sometimes a dash of balsamic vinegar, and I throw in some cherry tomatoes. Second thing that I avoid are canned foods. These are classified as dead food. The food has been locked in a dark room for years, and canned food can last up to 2 to 3 years, right? Now, in Ayurveda, we see this as a complete dead food because all the prana, the natural energy, has disappeared from the food. And then there is this much talked about controversy about whether it is safe to nuke your food. I'm talking about, you've guessed it, the microwave. There are so many questions about this. Can microwave food cause cancer? Can microwave leak radiation? Are there plastics that are microwavable safe, or should we always use glass? What is a safe distance to stand away from the microwave when the microwave is being used? Does microwave kill the nutrients in your food? And the list goes on. So tell me, nuke or not to nuke? I seriously don't know. So when in doubt, I play it safe and avoid microwave. How many of you here totally will not eat food that is cooked by microwave? I think we should be polling this question because I really like to know the answer. Another way for a healthy diet is portion control. Eat in smaller plates. Science says that eating on a large plate tricks your brain into thinking that you haven't eaten enough. So, eat on a smaller plate to feel full quicker and avoid overeating. Also, you might feel guilty going for second and third helpings when you're using a smaller plate. I would also add that you should eat with a smaller spoon. So that will make you eat slower, and when you eat slower, the tendency is that you will eat less. Now, this is very interesting, the next thing I'm going to talk about. How does color influence our eating intake? This is something new I learned. Do you want to know? Really, really want to know? If you do, you know what you need to do. Show me some love, and I'll tell you what I've learned about colors. Well, the color of your plate could impact your food intake. Wow. Well, this is not hearsay. This was based on a study conducted by Cornell University, and that's a very, brainy university. People eat less when there is a higher color contrast between the plate and the food. Who would have thought that, right? If the color contrast between the two, the food and the plate, is lower, we tend to eat more. For instance, if we are taking pasta with Alfredo sauce on a white plate, you will probably eat more as compared to eating in, say, a blue plate. I am not sure how this will help colorblind people, but for the rest of you folks, adding color contrast to your table settings could very well help you eat less, and you don't really need to change all the plates then. So Norwex hacks for you. You can add a dash of color to your table arrangement with our colorful counter cloth. Is that too far-fetched? I don't know. Try it and we'll see. Okay, folks, that's all I have got for a healthy diet. Keep healthy, what did I say? Number 1, keep healthy snacks in easy sight and easy reach. Number 2, remember, canned foods are dead food. Number 3, keep it small. Small bowl, small spoon, and soon you will be one size smaller too. And number 4, add colors to your table arrangement. The colors will distract you from grubbing too much. And okay, folks, that's all I have to share this evening. No more snacking after this show. Good night, and don't let the grub get you tonight. Bye-bye.